Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Neos Academy. We are so excited to have you. It is my pleasure, my honor to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Eric Hill. How are you, sir?
I'm great, sir. And you today?
Thank you for letting me join you guys today. I'm so excited. I'm kind of like guest appearing on Neos Academy here.
I couldn't be happier.
Okay, so I also want to introduce, we got a whole team of people helping us out today because we literally have just shy of 300 registrants. So we're so excited for those of you that are coming back to join us for Neos Academy. For all you first timers, welcome. We're happy to have you. So we've got a whole team. I just want to quickly introduce Pamela, Kyle, Vicky, and Marissa. From our team. They're going to be helping out today. They might field a couple of questions. If Eric and I get anything wrong, Kyle might jump in with her amazing knowledge and say, wait a second, this is what we really want to talk about. So we've got a good crew. Today, we're going to be covering reporting and all aspects. So we're going to talk about reports, permissions, advanced search, mass update, dashboards, data integrity, all kinds of delightfully nerdy stuff. So again, I'm excited. All right, so let's do it. Again, Neos Academy reporting. The screen share is yours, my friend. Let's dive in.
Let's go. All right, the first thing we're going to start off with is actually looking at our settings and administrative setup. So a couple of the things we do before we do reports and advanced search and those things is we want to make sure that everybody has rights, permissions, and privileges. So if you go to settings, permission groups, choose that permission group that you want. Go to group general permissions, go down to general, and then there's your reports. Are they enabled for everyone? Can they add reports? Can they modify reports? And can they delete a report? In that same vein, just below that is advanced search. Are they enabled or disabled? If they're disabled, you're going to see that red circle with the line, which means no. So make sure that's enabled for everyone.
Well, let me check that statement for you real quick, because not everyone. The big deal on reports, my 2 cents, my opinion, is that should be locked down, and then you give access specifically to the people that you want to have access
to that group. I would definitely give it to that group. To the administrators, for sure, they want to have permission to those groups so they can run those reports and run that advanced search as needed.
Oh yeah, admins get it all.
Admins should have it all. Also, in other permissions, so if you've given them reports and advanced search, and you don't want them to run certain reports, you can go to other permissions, and right here in report categories, you can say, you know what? I do want them to have access to reports, but I don't want them to have access to management reports and value reports. If you save that, then that group will have access to all the reports except these that you've chosen. Good.
Very good.
And I'm not trying to limit my group because I'm in our environment. So I don't want to sit here and throttle down our group because they definitely want to run those reports when they need them and want to show them.
We appreciate it.
So starting on the left-hand side, when you see the arrow going up and the 3 bars, that is your canned report. So the canned reports that come in Neos. You have 610 reports that come canned. So you can, of course, search by case, directory, intakes. All of those have their own specific items that you can look at value. But if you're saying, hey, I want to look at all of them, and I can come right here and say, oh, might help if I can spell, case listing is it, oh. Case listing by staff assigned.
We talked to our team and we got a list of all of the most run reports, like out of the canned reports, what were people's favorites. And not surprisingly, case listings was all about case listings. Show me all of my cases that X. And there's several different versions of them here.
I was going to say, out of the reports that they came back to us, out of the 10, I'll say 7 of them were case listings in the different ways that they came in.
Yep.
And then I can, once I get that report open, I can then break it down by staff, primary staff, or just any staff. So if I want to see every case that Brian's on, I can run that report.
Oh, wow. Brian's not very busy, is he? Brian's slacking.
Brian is slacking. Or if I want to see, you know, if there's other where he may be listed as the attorney, I can run those reports and get those things and see those things. Again, as your primary staff, any staff, or if I'm looking for a certain, I want to see every case that Eric has that's an MVA. And then I can start running case open date or case close date. I can run all of those different features once I get that initial report that is opened.
And what I love about this, as compared to, you know, some of the older systems, these reports, they're alive. They're modifiable on the fly. It's not like you have to run a report and you get the results and that's it. Anybody can come in and play with these filters and the column headers and turn it into whatever they need personally.
Correct. And it's all wonderful if you can get a case or a report that's just like that. You can also go down to case notes or any of your case reports. And see all of the different reports by case note, case type. All of those are there for you. If I run a case note report, notice right there when it pops up, it says required field. Some of these reports that come in are requirements. So you have to fill those out before you can start seeing that report visible. So
and I can give a why on that is because your average system, I mean, this is a notes report. So how many tens, if not hundreds of thousands of notes might be in the database? So we don't want to slow you down. Start as a blank slate, select like a time frame. And then that's going to narrow that scope significantly and you can get some usable report results.
And that's where this comes in. If you see the red star next to it, that's a required field. That's why it's stopping us before it ran that report. Hey, give me a good date entry. Well, I want to see everything from March 1st to today. And then it's just showing me that month of notes rather than showing me 15 years, 10 years of different notes and taking forever to run that report. Good. So once I've got this report and I've got it the way I like it, I can always come up here to subscribe. Tell it how I want that report to be in the subscription, either as CSV or PDF. Who's it going to go to? If I want my filters included. Schedule, is it monthly or weekly? I want it every week, Friday at 3 p.m. Execute. Now, every Friday at 3 p.m., I'm going to get this report in a CSV format emailed to me from the system.
And just to call this out, because I apologize for interrupting, Eric, but I love this feature so much because for years, firm administrators had to run all those reports, get the results, put them into a format, and then email them to like the managing attorney or somebody who wasn't logging in and checking the reports personally. And while I recommend logging in and checking the reports personally, because you can mess with it, you can subscribe on behalf of someone else. So if it used to be your job to download this stuff every Friday and send it over, then you can put somebody else's email address right there. And you can tell them that there's a subscribe feature or not. That's up to you. You can claim that you're still doing it personally. But this makes things much, much easier.
So in that same vein, as Brian just spoke about, you subscribe that person and they start getting those emails and they're like, I'm done. I don't want to see this anymore. This is too much. It's overwhelming. Stop sending me this email every Friday at 3 p.m. You can go back into that same report in the subscribe, and down here at the bottom left, it is remove subscription. So you can take that subscription away from that person so they don't have to worry about those emails coming in anymore. Very good.
Very good. That also works if, like, let's say they've decided a different report or a slightly modified version. I don't want this one anymore. Let's take that one down and subscribe to this one, which has another data point that I'm interested in.
And you can make all of those adjustments and changes right there on the fly, no problem. So if a canned report doesn't give you what you want, we also have an advanced search. So in the search, go ahead.
Sorry, before we get into advanced search, he's so energetic. God, it's the last time I invite him to my party. I do want to show the ability in the reports where if you modify a report and then save it as a new report, because we've got all the canned stuff, which is great, but that doesn't mean you can't modify it to be what you want it to be. So Eric's going into our canned, case notes report, saving it for what he wants it to be specifically, and then boom. What other information do you want in here? What sequence do you want it in? What do you want displayed or hidden? All of those are modifiable options. And then all you need to do is give the report a new name, like, Eric's super fantastic special. If you're going to type all this, I'm just going to keep saying words and make you type.
I'm not at all.
No, okay. So Eric case notes, and then you could save that report. And it's right there for you to run next time so that you don't have to open up the canned report. You can open up the Eric report, and it has things just the way you like it.
Is it gonna?
I don't think you did. You save it? I didn't see.
I thought I did. I may not have.
Oh, okay. No worries. But if you did, it'll be right there in the list. You can bring it right up, and you're good to go. This is why I horned my way in on today's academy, is because I love the data stuff so much. This is all my favorite stuff to deal with.
Very
all right.
Good.
I jumped in and I sent you off course, but please.
You are good.
Feel free.
That's the whole objective of this. Now we're going to talk about advanced search. I can go to the search button, go all the way to the bottom here and do an advanced search. That's the easy part. Now we're going to choose from our search, what are we looking for? Cases, intakes, calendar, staff, whatever we're looking for, we can see that. All right. Again, if it starts with case, because 90% of the time people are looking for cases. What type of case are they looking for? And we can choose that. And again, we have 4 fields here, or 4 columns. We have the and or column, the field name column, the operator column, and then the value column. And again, each one of those we may use in conjunction, and we may not use some of those. So when we select that case type, we can say it's equal to or excludes MVA. So this
and these arguments, they might seem, they're so easy. Includes, excludes, includes any of, equal to. Just think of it like a math equation. My favorite way to explain the screen, Eric and I were just talking about this yesterday, is advanced search starts with show me everything that ... And those lines that he's adding right there are the ... Show me all cases that the case type equals MVA. So you start with that big list and you just start narrowing it to the specific thing that you want.
And I'm going to change it to
go includes any of. That's my favorite.
And I'm going to add another field. So I'm going to click the plus. And again, you don't have to click the plus. You can also click add criteria. One and the same. I also want to add the lim date. Well, I don't want you scrolling through here, going through the case dates, trying to find all of this stuff. you can just start typing. And I want to see it greater than or equal to now it's showing me every MVA case with a limb date better than 3/1/2023.
You know what? Now's a good time since we're doing a date. There's a new feature from the last release that we should call out. Try instead of a greater than a from. Just click that drop down, and that from is new. So if it's instead of this specific date to that specific date, this is a rolling time frame, like the past month, the past 3 months, the past year, and that reactivates, re-ups itself every time you run this search. So every time you run the search, it will be as of today and last 3 months. So you don't have to pick that manually or update it if you run the search again in the future. I like that one too.
Sweet. Again, this gives you everything that you want to see, and you can just keep building those criterias. Again, with those field names, the operator, and the value. If you get one that you don't like, or you hit the button, you're like, I don't need that. That's what the little delete or trash can is here for. Once I've got this report and I'm like, I absolutely love this report, I can save as new.
Oh, can I share one more modification before we save it?
Go.
Columns.
Turning
because
columns.
you've got your argument up top. Show me everything that includes MVA from the last 3 months. But now, am I seeing the data that I want to see? Or am I seeing data that is not important for this particular one? So we've got our case name and our first party name. In our system, those tend to be similar. So let's say we want to take out first party name. Ta-da.
And save
and
it.
Then save it.
Say I want to add one. I could go to the add remove columns here and turn off or turn on. I want to see the intake date, the limb status, synopsis, because I also want to see all about what we put in here about this case. And again, all of these reports and advanced search and all of this stuff goes back to garbage in is going to equal garbage out. You've got to have the data updated and in the format or the way that you want it. So when you do these reports, it's going to give you what you want. You can't have open, empty fields. Go ahead.
I want to bang that drum even harder because it's
a big
so
one.
important. I know
It's
we
huge.
say garbage in, garbage out, but that is a firm culture decision that needs to be set from the top. The person in charge of the firm or the Neo system needs to say, look, this is how we enter data. Because if everybody is entering the data and entering it consistently in the same way, you've got all of this information that you can pull out of your system. But if even 10% of your people aren't entering, the appropriate fields or are saving things different way or just going rogue and doing things their own way, it skews your data. And it's 10% of your data in 1 month, but then the next month that builds and it's 10% of the new data plus the existing. And then the next, and 6 months down the road, your reports don't work anymore. So not to harp on what you were saying, Eric, but it's so important to decide as a firm, this is how we fill out intakes. This is how we fill out cases. This is how we manage our checklist. These are the types of notes we enter when something in a case happens. Consistently, uniformly, across the board throughout the firm, because that's your ticket. That's the ticket that you purchase. And this is the show that you get to see. So you paid your money for the ticket by entering everything in appropriately, and then your reward is real, true, actionable intelligence in your reporting structure that you can use to make really important decisions for your firm. Okay, stepping off my soapbox.
Because that is, as Brian is saying, that is one of the most important things you're going to run into. You can set this up and have it all great. If everybody's not filling everything in, it makes all of this useless, because you are going to miss something somewhere, somehow. I promise you. So once I've got my report set, I can always save as a new. And save.
One of the attendees, our buddy Chris, just asked for that rant as a separate clip to share with the staff.
You know what? We ought to be able to clip that down and send it out
if
needed.
I will post that right to my Facebook page.
That's great. So if we close advanced search, anytime I want to go back, I can go back to advanced search, click on my save searches up here, and I should be able to see Eric's limb date report. It's going to give me that same report. Just run it, and there they are again. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
And so you saved it as another advanced search, but we also have the ability to save it as a report. So it goes back into that report section. Let's call out that little toggle there. So we call this advanced search, but to me, what this really is, the function of it, is a very easy to use report writer. The old Needles report writer was so complicated. I mean, you needed a degree in computer science and data analytics to write those reports, but anybody can do this. So we gave it the simpler name advanced search, but it really is a report writer. You can build this to be whatever you want, save it as an advanced search for people to open there, or save it right to your report library.
Good.
Good. I'm good if you're
awesome.
Good.
I'm good.
All right. We're doing good on we're at 12:23. So our Eastern, we're doing pretty good here. I know we're moving very fast, but hopefully you guys are enjoying everything that we're teaching here, because it's about to get heavier. You ready?
It's about to get heavier.
It's about to get heavy.
So let's say that Brian leaves the firm, and I need to change every case that Brian's associated to Eric. I can go to staff assigned, select staff. And again, this is mass updating. Sorry, I didn't lead into that. This is mass updating. So this is the way that we can mass update or change someone that's assigned to the case to someone else. So if Eric comes in and takes Brian's spot at the firm, I can easily run a report, give me every case that Brian's associated to, and then I can do a bulk update and say everywhere Brian is, change it to Eric.
And while you're doing that, I just want to give a big old warning sign that this is a very powerful feature that should be very restricted to an extremely small number of people at your firm, because this has the ability to, I described the advanced search as show me everything that ... What mass update does is it's basically a find and replace like Word, but in your entire Neo system. So find everything that ... and change it to ... I didn't know what the other option for ... was. So it's very powerful, but should be limited to the people who know how to use it and are authorized to make changes on a global scale through your database.
And if at any point you question it, please reach out to your CSM or your trainer and have them work with you and help you.
Great.
Because the last thing we want to do is have someone make a change across the board and it's going to take hours or days to fix. When if somebody would have called our support team, that's what we're here for, is to support you, to help you and run this. And in 5-10 minutes, we can accomplish everything you needed rather than having to do a cleanup for a week.
Okay. And we do have a question about permissions on this, so we'll get to that in a minute, but continue with the demonstration here.
So we go through and I said, select the staff equal to Brian Billy. I run that search. It's going to give me all the cases that Brian's associated to. At this point, I can click right here and it select all of them. At the very top by case number, I selected that checkbox. I could go to bulk actions, edit. And then it's telling me I want to edit what field. I'm going to scroll down. CB is for case date. CS is for case staff. So I'm going to go down to case staff. Everywhere Brian is an attorney, I want to change that to Eric now.
How dare you? Not
How dare
only
you?
do you fire me when I've been working at this firm on just these 3 cases for years, but you take them for yourself.
How dare you? So if you notice, Michelle,
probably the right decision.
Franklin Nelson, Michelle Lackey, and Bob Dogar are all assigned to Brian. If I hit that, now I can change this to and I can find those cases here also.
I am sure they're in there. Yeah, Franklin Nelson, Bob Dogar. Yep, there you go. All 3.
Now they've been reassigned to me. Now, somebody asked, well, Brian was showing up again. That's because Brian's in another field. He may not be in the primary staff. He may be in the case manager, the paralegal, something to that effect. He's in another field there. So again, you just want to look at those cases, see where he's at, and make that same adjustment across the board.
Okay, so before we move on from mass update, I know we showed permissions before, but can we just take a quick step back and show how we lock down this area?
Sure. So we can go back to settings, permission groups, choose that permission group again.
Let's pick a different one. Let's because administrators are going to get it all. So let's say legal assistant. Perfect.
I don't want them to do mass updates. I can go to other permissions. Sorry, group special permissions.
Yep.
Scroll down and it's update multiple cases.
So make a note of that one. It's a big deal. Settings, permission groups, special permissions, update multiple cases. And if you want to learn more about permission groups, we're not going to cover that here today, but basically all of your staff should be in a particular permission group. And then under their staff settings, they should inherit the settings from the permission group that they're in, so that in one foul swoop, you can make sure that none of your legal assistants have access to update multiple cases, but do have access to calendars and all of the things that they do need.
Good.
Good.
Awesome. I'm going to move on to dashboards and how to create a dashboard, add a dashboard so you can get dashboards up and running.
We did get one call out here and I appreciate it regarding mass update and case types.
Okay.
Because different case types can have different case dates and different staff positions. So when you're doing a mass update like that, you need to take the type of case into account, because the position of attorney in MVA might be different than the position of attorney in criminal defense. So if you're doing like a staff update like you just did, make sure that you're accounting for the different data points that might be different between your case types. I recommend aligning them whenever possible, but it's a good thing to verify.
I saw somebody raise their hand or something.
I don't know. Do any of our co-hosts want to jump in here at any point before we jump off of mass update? Because this is a critical juncture, and I'm just going to watch all of their mute buttons and see if anybody's brave enough to unmute.
Nothing.
Here comes Pam.
Oh, that's Pam.
Yeah, the only thing I would like to say about the mass updates, be very careful because it's very powerful And if the person doing this does not truly know what they're doing, they can change every single case in the database. So
That's
if you
agreed.
have any question, please pick up the phone and call our customer support department and ask them to assist you, or get on a training with one of your trainers to ensure that you guys are doing the right thing, because taking that 5 minutes to do that versus asking for a backup and a restore, it's going to be quicker and it's going to give you that peace of mind.
Yep, I agree. You know what? Good policy. Here it is. We'll set it right now. This is what we recommend. Don't mass update alone. Mass update should have the 2 nuclear keys in the submarine. You need at least one other person watching over your shoulder, whether it's a member of our team or yours, to just review everything that you've set up there and say, okay, this is in fact the change we want to make, and only the change we want to make. So friends don't let friends mass update alone.
It's funny. I used to tell everybody running through similar scenarios that they push the button. As I watched them build it, and I'd be like, "You didn't do that, did you? You just messed it all up," knowing that they had done it right, just to see the fear on their face.
A little fear is good sometimes.
A little
when it
fear
comes
is
to the
good.
database.
So then the next time they wanted to do it, they would definitely call me and be like, "Hey, I want to do this again, and let's run through it and just make sure." So it's definitely good to always, 4 eyes, 6 eyes are better than 2. Please ask, get somebody else to look at it with you. I can't stress that enough.
All right. Mass update. Box checked. Well done.
Whew. My heart's racing.
That was spicy.
That was spicy. That got me a little worked up even. So dashboards. When you first log into Neos, you're going to see your dashboards and activity feed and all the things that's set up here. But say you want to add a dashboard or add a new dashboard.
I'm going to pause you 1 second, and I apologize. I promise this is like the 3rd to last time I'm going to do this. We have fun. There's 2 places in Neos that have dashboards. So real quick, before we dive into the today screen dashboards, especially for our users that have been on Neos for a long time now, we've got this dashboard section on the main menu. So go ahead and give it a click for me, Eric. And these dashboards are great, but what they are is they are a carry forward from Needles 5. So for all of the firms that had built dashboards in Needles 5 already, we needed a place for them to still be able to view those dashboards. So we literally carried that technology whole hog forward into Neos. So if you have, legacy dashboards, they'll be here. They're great. They're powerful. You can tweak them. You can modify them. I do love this functionality here. But what Eric is about to show you is basically, dashboards 2.0. It's a new section that's easier to use, can access more, and can be more modifiable by user. So we're not going to cover the Needles 5, dashboard section. If you've got them, use them. They're great. If you're building new dashboards, I recommend starting where Eric is about to dive in.
And right here, I can click add a dashboard. I can name it. I can add a tile, and then I can add a table, a number, a chart, or an activity feed. I'm going to choose chart. And then I'm going to choose my query. Remember that advanced report that I had created a minute ago? Now I'm going to name it. Chart type is a pie chart. I'm going to group by and give me a count. And there's my cases. If I ever want to see this query, you can click on View Query, and it's going to open that advanced search and show you that report.
So let's build out a dashboard for like case inventory. I think that's one of the popular things that people like to create is, show me a breakdown of my firm's inventory, all the things that I need to know. So what do you think is at the top of that list? Cases by case type. Ooh, by class. Class is good. Staff. Case listings by staff. There's your winner. Now that we've got Brian out of here, ding, and we've got some, talented attorneys and case managers working on cases, do it by staff, primary staff code. There we go. And count and save. So this is going to give us a pie chart of how many cases each of my staff is handling. So at a glance, I can tell that, Sabina is carrying a significant weight. Our generic attorney is also doing well. Eric's catching up, but mostly because he stole Brian's 3 cases. I'm not going to let it go.
I'm just not letting it go.
I'm wounded. So what you can do is build out this dashboard to cover a variety of things. So you want to add another tile? Let's see if we can get yeah. See, there's 2 different, we'll cancel here, but this is a good call out. You can add a dashboard, which is a whole nother set of tiles, or you can add a tile to this individual dashboard. It's a very slim line between them. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit this dashboard and then add tile instead of add new dashboard. So yeah, let's, you want to do the case number? Let's do that. Oh, no, not yet. I apologize. Cancel this. It's like, Brian, this is my show. What are you just telling me what to do now? Chart, and let's do case types. We don't have a search query for case types, Eric. Why don't we have we need to see a list of cases by case type. What are we to do? So Eric's going to go back to advanced search, and he's going to create a new advanced search, which is super easy. Show me a list of all of my cases. And let's select case type is not blank. Not that case type can really be blank, but that's boom. All my cases with the case type in there, and then save it as a new advanced search called case types.
Or whatever we want to name it. And again, we can turn it on as one of our shared reports. Save it. Let me just refresh real quick so it saves that information for me. I can go back to my case inventory.
Oh, so yeah, and I got a request. Can we do that one more time? So we're doing it.
Oh,
We're doing
not
it
a
one more
problem.
time. No. Create a tile. You're
okay.
right on.
I'm
target.
there. Chart.
Case type. Nope. Because a case name will have one for every single one. We want grouped by case type and count them again and save. Okay, so we got a lot of case types in this database. We do all the law.
We do.
But as you can see, we've got our MVAs, our criminal misdemeanors, our dog bites, our med mal, our product liability, all of it here, and it breaks it down. And yeah, if you hover, you can see actual counts. Or if you say, hey, that's interesting, I'm curious as to more details about this, you click that view query. It's going to open up the full advanced search with the full search results and show you all of it. That was a big report. So you can probably,
huge one.
Yeah,
it's going to take
I basically said, show me everything. Okay. So I want to show, if you're up for it, a different type of tile, because I love the pie chart. But did we create and save that list of your cases specifically? And if not, let's go ahead and create it and then do it. So let's say, again, while you do this, I'll narrate. Let's say on your dashboard, you want information specific to you as a user. And one of the most classic, ones of that is show me all of my cases. I know the firm is handling thousands of cases, but I am managing these cases specifically, and I don't want to have to run a report every time to see all of the cases that I am assigned to. So Eric is running a report right now that says, show me everything that any case position equals Eric, so that he is assigned to that case in any way. And then he saved it as Eric's cases. All right. So why don't you give us a number tile? Ta-da. Eric is currently working on 23 cases. And if he ever wants to see a list of them, he can just click View Query and it'll bring up his list of cases.
I can export, subscribe, whatever I need to do at that point.
Yep. But your dashboard's, making my OCD twitch. Can you make it pretty for me? No, not the report, the back to the dashboard.
Oh, here?
Yeah, it's like, hey, yeah, that's better. Okay, all right.
It can't be lined up.
All clean. Yeah, it has to be. You can't just like be cattywampus. It's crazy.
I got what you're saying.
All right. I'm going back to our list. Okay. All right. So you have created a badass case inventory dashboard. I love it. Can I see it?
Of course you can. I'll click on my cogwheel here.
Look
and
at
I'm
this.
gonna share with Brian.
I've been rehired.
He's back. He's back in
like
the
a
game.
bad penny. So what you can do here, I'm just taking over. You explained this. I got carried away. This is your show.
So as you create this, if it's someone, so you're a paralegal or legal assistant working for an attorney, or the attorney has it and they want to share it with you, so you're seeing exactly what they're seeing, all you have to do is click on that cog. And again, when you start that day, you're going to start with NEOS today. You can always scroll over to that case inventory, click on that cogwheel, and right there it says share with, and choose everybody you want to share this with. Cole's out. And then just save. Let's say you set this up and you're like, I don't like this. I want to start over from scratch. Cogwheel, delete that whole dashboard, and it'll delete all of this entire dashboard for you with all of these here. Go in and say, well, Devin, he's gone. Irene's gone. Now it's just me and Mr. Billig again. Back in the side.
Get rid of him.
And that's it. And again, every time you open NEOS, you can go to, it'll start with NEOS today. You can always have those dashboards ready to go right there for you.
That particular one, intakes overview, is a NEOS Pro function. So we have a canned dashboard associated with the pro level product, and all of the cool features for intake at that level. I think you already did an academy on that, right?
We did.
Yeah, so folks can go back to the Academy page or the Learning Hub if they want to learn more about that one. But for the rest of these, NEOS today is baked in for everybody, and anybody can build any of this in any way that they want and share it with anybody else at their firm, as long as they have the permissions to do it.
We cannot stress enough permissions, 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 permissions. Cannot.
It's
right
really
next
easy to just say, we'll give everybody access, and if we need to take something away, we will. No.
Don't. It's better to take away and piece out who really needs it.
Yep.
Permissions are right next to garbage in, garbage out. It has to be done and done correctly.
Because you get a crazy person like me running around in your database, just making stuff, changing stuff.
Because garbage in, garbage out ends into a dumpster fire.
All right. Was there anything else on my list of content? I think we checked most of the boxes. Was there anything else that you wanted to cover?
We didn't. That was everything that I had on our agenda and our sheet for today.
Okay.
We can look at questions. Let's rock and
Yeah.
roll.
So let's rewind a bit. I just want to say thanks for everybody that joined us. If you want to stick around for questions, by all means, if you want to step out at this point, thank you very, very much for your time. But we've got a lot of smart people here, so I bet we got some good questions. So let's see what we got here. Is there a way to run a case notes report and choose a topic? So I want to see, notes of a particular topic. Case status open, and you'll see that there is a case note topic filter right there. So on any of the different case note reports, you have the ability to pick one specifically or pick a whole bunch and exclude some specifically. So that allows you to say, show me all notes that are case topic XYZ, or show me all notes with all topics except XYZ.
And Michelle, if you get that set up the way you want it and seeing what you want to see, subscribe to it.
You know what? That's going to help us with our next question. So go ahead and subscribe. See?
I know what the question is. I've seen it.
Yep, we covered it, but I wanted to.
I'm still going to do
a big
it.
one. Yep.
So I want this report sent to me every Monday morning at 9 a.m. So when I come in, I'll see what was done. Again,
right. I don't want it anymore. Make it go away.
Into it, I hate it. Subscribe, remove subscription.
So once you subscribe to a report, that menu that you see is going to change slightly, and that remove subscription button is going to be there. So, excuse me, if you're getting the subscription or somebody else is getting the subscription, you just need to figure out which report it is, go back to that report, open up that subscribe screen, and unsubscribe. Okay. Okay, so we had that question a few times. Can multiple people subscribe to the same report? After demoing this all the time, how many subscriptions do you personally actually get, Eric?
That's why I come in and remove subscriptions.
Okay.
Because it happens constantly.
Yeah, I bet you get a bunch.
Yes.
Okay, so then you're back here and you want to subscribe somebody else.
I'm not doing Pedro.
Yeah,
I'll make Rebecca do it.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thanks, Rebecca.
We love you. All right.
So the subscription only lets you handle one subscription per person. That's it. Because when you come back in to subscribe again, it's just Rebecca at that point. I can remove it from Rebecca.
Go ahead and help her out.
So if I add Rebecca to it, I can't do it to anyone else. That's it.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
It's just one person, one time, one subscription per report.
Okay. So that answers that. Let's do Rebecca a quick favor and unsubscribe her.
I did.
And I'll read out the next question. Okay. You did it?
It's
awesome.
gone. Yeah.
Okay. So this one's super easy. How do you get to advanced search? Because it's not an obvious button on the menu bar. I get it.
It is. It is not. So in the search bar at the very top, you'll see all your cases you've recently looked at. At the very bottom is the advanced search button. And that'll open it up.
All right. I have a crunchy permissions question. that I would welcome Kyle or Pam to jump on with us to assist with this. The question is, can you give staff access to advanced search, but limit the data that they see? And I'm honestly not sure. I know we can limit the data. I limit access to advanced search entirely. But yeah, open one of these permission groups for me. Legal assistant again. And so we've got advanced search there.
Yeah.
So can they get to it at all? Yes, they can. But if they don't have rights to, let's say, the value tab, can we limit the scope of their search results? And I'm going to vote that if you give somebody access to advanced search,
it's
then they
advanced
can
search. It's across the board.
It's across the board.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
If Kyle or Pam disagrees with us, they can jump in. But that's part of the trick of advanced search, is if they have access to that, they have access to that. But while we're here, reports is a different matter. You can give certain permission groups access to specific reports and not to others. So why don't we cover that under other permissions? Other permissions might seem confusing at first, but this is what's called exceptions. So it means that they have access except, and we can do that by case types and report categories. So out of all of these reports, we can say, look, you can run all your case listings reports and your notes reports and all your stuff, but auditing and management and value tab and some of the financial stuff, off limits. So yeah, if we go down and we turn off value, any report with the category of value, and let me rephrase that, turn on value as an exception, they no longer have access to value reports. So that's also another powerful area of permissions here. And that third one, again, not what we're covering today, but that is case-specific exceptions. So if somebody's brother gets in a car accident, and of course they're going to come to your law firm because, their sibling works there, but you want to be by the book, you can limit that staff person specifically or a permission group from a very specific case and say, you guys can't touch this case at all because of, whatever sensitive nature reason.
And the same thing, if you've got people that are working in real estate, you don't want them messing with your criminal files or messing with your criminal case types or your MVA case types. So real estate stays with real estate, family stays with family, PI stays with PI, and so on down the line.
Exactly. Okay, we have so many here. I'm trying to pick the ones that were repeated. You know what? I'm going to give Chris credit because, he made me laugh before. He wants us to show the activity feed tile, which is a very cool tile. We showed pie chart. We showed number. There's two other types here. Hey, you can stay on case inventory. We'll just add it to that one. There's two other types. There's a list, which is a table tile. So that's more like an actual report. So that, should pick a case types. That's fine. And so this is more like the results of a report as opposed to a graphical dashboard. And it doesn't quite fit in that square. You can make it bigger. You can change the query to limit the results.
Let me
change the columns,
move this one over here. Move this one up here.
Thank you. That makes me feel better. Okay. But the new one I appreciate it. The new one we just added is the activity feed tile. So as we know, in every case, there's an activity feed. Show me everything that's happened in this case. And it shows when somebody made a change, uploaded a document, checked a checklist item complete, all of that stuff. But if we go to, you've got an activity feed on your today. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's an activity feed dashboard tile that says, show me all of the things that have been done XYZ. And my favorite way to use it is by a particular staff member. So if you're, the administrator or a member of the management team, you can create an activity feed dashboard and create tiles for staff members or groups of staff to show me what have they been up to. And I can go in and I can see, man, since 11:20, Eric's really been at it. He is updating stuff. He is changing stuff. He is doing stuff today. If you are fully remote, like we are, and you've got staff all over the country or the state or wherever you are, this is also, it's a little big brothery, but it's a great way to see who's accomplishing tasks. Not just, checklist item, which I love as, my primary metric of efficiency, but you can also see if people are in cases, if they're doing work, if they're making changes. So this is a brand new tile and you can create entire dashboards around it. So thank you, Chris. It is 12:58, my man. I would say it went fast, didn't it? Pick one more, your choice.
When you share the search, does it appear on other? Cynthia Crocker wrote, when you share the search, does it appear on other person's dashboard? So you're talking about the search here. And I'm just going to clean this up a little bit so we can. So you're saying when I click here and I share this with someone here, it will show up on there, like up top here, when they log into Neos that morning. And it'll say that Eric or whoever has shared that dashboard with you. I'm hoping that's what you were after.
All right, my man.
All right.
Anything else to add?
That's it. That is all. I can't thank everyone enough for being here and being with us and participating.
Yeah, well, thank you to you too. This Academy thing has been fantastic. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and you are doing an amazing job, my man. Thank you for letting me crash the party today. The door's always open for you. The door is always open. All right,
you
take your share down. I'll put mine up. Guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate everybody's time, and have a wonderful week.